whatever he did. What you gonna do?
When you see the flags, red or green, pay attention to the flags.
Play stupid game, win stupid prizes. I'm Mauri Goins.
And I'm Dina Blair.
We're single moms
living life for the first time, just like our kids.
Real talk from the carpool to the crib.
A podcast about single motherhood,
Black womanhood,
and everything in between.
And maybe we can make your way in the pickup line a little more bearable.
Hey, so today, for our mom moments, we're talking about our own red flags when it comes to dating.
My red flag is committing too soon.
Ooh, expand. Talk about that.
Committing too soon. I am a Sagittarius to my core. And we are not in a relationship until I say we are. So we are not going to act married or play married or act like we are in a serious commitment until we are. It is a red flag for me for you to feel like you got it like that, because you don't.
What does that look like?
What that looks like is Sagittarius are very, very hard to commit. When we commit and we fall deep. But if you're somebody that I feel like I'm kicking it with, and I've already communicated that to you, but you still feel like we in a commitment,
right?
That's a red flag. Because honestly, I remember dating this guy and he's like, Mauri, you could have been married a long time ago. You just didn't want to be. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't ever want to marry the wrong person. Not saying that I know the future, but we're either committed and in a relationship or we're not. And if I haven't given you the green flag for that, we're not.
My red flag that I do is that I will ghost someone in a minute.
Did anybody put a ghost up?
Or a second.
Has anybody put a ghost up? Because she's like Puff.
I will.
She's Casper.
I will.
She is Casper.
I will say catch me if you can.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
She is Casper. She will listen. And thank God we've never been in a situation where I had to get ghosted.
No.
Because she will just cut you off. Like,
I'm
like, hey, Dina, what happened to who? It's like, who? I'm like, oh my God.
It's
yes.
True.
She has an innate quality to be done with you. Which I will say this with your red flag. I wish I was more like that red flag. That is a trait that a lot of women need to have, because you're like, when you did this and when you got divorced.
Yeah.
You were done.
It takes me a minute to get there, but once I'm there, I'm out. So
you were done.
If you get ghosted, that's me. That's my red flag.
Oh my God.
That's a real
thing. And it's
thing.
Halloween. Okay, Casper. I'm going to start calling you Casper.
Surprise.
I'm going to call you Casper. Okay.
All right. Let's get into real talk. Dating as a single mom can literally bring out the best in a guy or really show you where he needs to grow. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the red flags and the green flags.
I love where he needs to grow, because it's like, are we watering this dude? Are we like, are we fixing him up? Are we like rooting him? Is he like, what's happening? Because when you say that, and I'm not going to water you.
Well, that's why
to become the man. Yes.
That's why it's a red flag.
So that's super red. That's super red. I don't like when I'm dating a guy and he's automatically jealous of my kids. And that doesn't happen just in dating. That happens in marriages.
For sure.
That happens in relationships where you're the father of the kid and the mom is spending more time with the kid, or the mom is more attentive to the children, or the mother is doing what she does in everyday life, right? Being a mom, taking care of her kids. A lot of men are jealous of that. And they feel like they need to compete with a mother's time. Mm-hmm. If that is happening in your relationship and even in your marriage, then you guys need to get therapy. Like, seriously, you need to get therapy, because I don't think it's healthy for a man to be jealous of a child.
So red flag number one, ladies, if you're dating a man, is if he's jealous of your children. That is red flag number one. And we'll know he's jealous because of he gets kind of funky if you got to like go to a soccer game.
If you cancel something, if you can't make dinner, if you don't have time to talk to him on the phone at that moment, if you can't just drop all the shit you're doing to talk to him about something that's probably not even relevant, or just pay him the attention. Because it's like, when you're in a relationship with a man, he's a big baby too, right? They're big babies too. So you've got to distribute your time wisely. And I think that for me, and one of the reasons why I haven't dated a lot as a single mother is I don't have time for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not burping you at 50. I mean, I'm just not doing that. Now, I'll burp my niece and I will take care of my daughter. But as a grown man, sometimes you just have to wait in line.
Yes,
right? And I'm one person, and I'm not Spider-Woman. You just have to wait in line. I don't have enough arms to reach everybody. So if you feel like your husband's jealous of your kids, or if you feel like the guy you're dating or you're newly dating is jealous of your kids, then you need to reevaluate that relationship, open up the communication, and you will know. Like, you will know if he's got an attitude because you canceled a date and he's rolling his eyes because here it is, the kids again. Well, it might be the kids all the time.
Yeah. I agree with having the conversation, but be willing to cut it off.
Well,
be willing to cut it off. If
well, we know.
Welcome.
Well, we know.
Be willing to cut
Casper
it off.
will cut you off. Casper will ghost you in a minute.
Yeah.
Right? But I think have a conversation first.
Yeah.
Before you ghost them.
Yeah.
Like, let them know, because sometimes men do it and they're not even, or women, I don't know who you're in a relationship with because I don't want to exclude anybody in this, but sometimes they do it and don't realize they're doing it.
Absolutely.
Right? You do things and you don't realize what you said or what you did. And I think, which is one reason why our friendship has been what it is because you can be like, hey, you know, maybe that wasn't cool, or maybe you should, you know, try to do that again, or maybe you should understand where I'm coming.
Yeah, think about it from the other person's perspective, because
Correct.
there are, if a man is not a woman, you know, or the person you're dating has not been a single parent, they may not understand where you're coming from and understand what a priority your children are. So to your point, having that conversation, being open with communication, and then seeing if they're willing to make those adjustments, and if they're not,
make them.
No bueno. And if they are, then you.
When I was in college, I read, and this is like the oldest read ever. You probably know what I'm going to say. Men are from Mars.
Yeah.
Women are from Venus. It is a great book because it shows you how we're completely opposite and we don't think the same. And men have to understand that my child isn't there to give you competition. My child is going to be there forever. So you have to figure out your own insecurities on your own. I'll be happy to have a conversation with you once.
And if it's a competition, he'll lose out every single time.
I said once.
I mean, every single time you're going to lose out to my children, period. Yeah.
It's not a kickball game.
No.
It's not a kickball game.
Okay, so red flag number 2 is that he expects instant access. So as a single mom, you know, if somebody, I mentioned before, somebody wanting me to go out and the same day, like the concert's happening in 2 hours, like meet me at the venue. And it's like, that's not happening. You don't have instant access at that space. You don't have instant access as far as like being able to come over whenever you, oh my gosh, I'm thinking of a story you and I have, but about somebody that we were talking about.
What?
So somebody is showing up in my house and you're like, no. So that's a red flag.
Okay.
Expecting to have instant access.
Let's just talk about that for a minute, right? First of all, if you get the address, you're doing good, right? If you get the address to even come over, you're doing good. Don't drive by. I was doing drive-bys when I was like a freshman in college. I did a drive-by.
High school.
Now, I did a drive-by. Like, I was like, what? Like, where you at? Like, right? Because then we didn't even have texting then. I was like on the big, remember the big cell phone?
Yes,
it looked like a brick.
It had to be stuck
to
right?
It looked like a brick. So it was like, I was on one of those. So I might have did a drive-by when I was in college. But as a grown woman, I'm not wasting my gas to drive by to make sure you're where you're supposed to be. Right? And if you're not where you're supposed to be, then you don't want to be with me. So that right there speaks volumes. Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But that is also like where we get into number 3. He's inconsistent with his communication. And I think that when you start seeing inconsistency in stories, then you already know. You already know he's probably not going to be your boo. You already know that he's playing games. You already know that he's not being upfront with you. When there's too many excuses, too many reasons why he can't, or that's showing up at my house. No, you don't do that. That's a big no-no. And I think that is just like a roller coaster ride.
Well,
right?
especially as a mom, I think inconsistencies speak volumes because we're looking for security, we're looking for stability, and we set boundaries. I mean, as women, we set boundaries already, or at least you should. And maybe boundaries isn't a good word, but you guys get what I'm saying. But when you're raising children, your guard is up even more. So those inconsistencies speak volumes, and it would let me know is like the type of person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not interested in having anything in my life that's going to create more of a roller coaster than I'm already experiencing. So that's a big red flag. Inconsistency for sure, I would say, is a red
And
flag.
I mean, my kids are probably like, okay, mom. Consistency for me is a clear vision of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's clarity. That means this is what he said he's going to do. This is what's happening. This is what's done. That's clear, because then I can say to my kids, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm not doing. This is where I'm at. This is who's coming. This is who's not coming. When it's inconsistent, it's complete and utter fucking chaos,
Yeah.
because it's me trying to clean up mess. It's me trying to redirect my schedule. It's me trying to redo my life for the day. And it's chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and your kids pick up on that chaos, because it's like, you were late coming to get me. What happened? You're never late. Or you never dress like this.
Right.
So you pick them up from school and you're all ready, and they're like, where are you going? You don't dress like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then I got to explain to my kids. To me, that's chaos. If I know what's happening and you're consistent, I know how to play it. So for me, consistency is a clear path to a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Inconsistency to me is pure chaos, right? I'm not going to be inconsistent with my employer. So I don't want you to be inconsistent with me and my children.
Yeah.
I want you to be consistent, whatever that means. That means if we're just kicking it and it's going to be sporadic, I know how to handle you, right? I know how to handle you. I know that you, like, if you call me that day and I'm doing something, I ain't picking up, right? I already know how to handle you. But if you're consistent and it's you're like, hey, we're going to do this every week, or we're going to do this on this day, or we're going to travel on this day. And I have a consistent plan and I understand that your intentions are clear with me. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
So any man that's inconsistent, that is a big red flag.
Huge.
Red flag. I'd say another red flag is
that's like playing blocks.
Yeah. Like
you're ready for them to fall apart. Like it's like what? Right. Nothing stable is going to come out of that inconsistency.
Yeah.
It's not.
And how do you trust someone like that too? It's hard to trust someone who's inconsistent.
I think that women want a relationship so bad that they overlook the inconsistencies.
Story we tell ourselves.
Yes. It's the story we tell ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Play stupid game, win stupid prizes.
Right. Well, I would say another red flag is that he downplays or criticizes your parenting choices. And I would say downplay, and you have an example of this, but I would say downplay is even, that kind of hits me right in the heart, is like downplaying my parenting choices, because any choice that I make as a parent, I don't take that lightly. Like sometimes I literally like agonize over choices I make as a parent, making sure I'm making the best choice for my children. Mm-hmm. So whoever comes along with me in this life, they have to be able to add to, the choices I'm making as a parent and helping my children, live their best life, basically. So someone who downplays the choices I make as a parent or criticizes them and doesn't come back with something constructive, that is a big red flag. They're not ready for this life.
To me, that is one of the, if you know me, you know me. If you have been at my home and you have shared my values and you know me, you know me. And that is probably the biggest reason that I have not gotten married yet. Nobody's raising my kids but me. Their father can give me his opinion and he can say to me, hey, you think this, and I value his opinion, right? He's the father of my kids. I value that opinion, but I haven't married and opened myself that much to another man, because That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to raise my kids. You're not going to tell me what you think is best for my kids, because I didn't see you getting the Nobel Peace Prize for father.
Well, it definitely goes through my mind. Like if I'm dating someone, whether it's conscious or unconscious, I literally think about like, what types of choices would this person make as a father now, having been married and divorced? And, it's like, or if he has children, like, how does he handle is he present for his children? Is being present important to me?
And women have to watch how men interact with their children.
Yeah.
Women have to watch what men say about their children. If you're dating somebody and their child is an amazing poet or an amazing singer or an amazing concert pianist, and he's never attended a concert,
right?
Who you dating? I don't just blame the man for that. I also blame the woman, because you know he has kids. You know where he's supposed to be, but you also know where he's not. And that's a big deal for me. Like, I'm not going to have somebody come in my house and he say to me, oh no, she shouldn't be doing that. She shouldn't be eating that. She shouldn't be wearing that. Boy, you knew.
Sit down.
You down. Down. Like
sit down.
Like, cut. Come on now.
Those are all valid red flags. And that's when you got to know how to ghost.
I remember my pastor saying to me when Mariah was a little girl, I will never forget this. I said this in another show. He said, Mauri, have you been to the family reunion?
Right.
I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you need to go, because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And you have to pick your man just like you're picking an apple. You need to know if he's ripe or not. You need to know if he's good to eat or not. You need to know if this is your dude or not. Because if you bring that spoiled apple to your family, into your household, it's going to be very, very difficult to get out of it. So that brings me to number 5. Are you ready for number 5?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm ready. Ready or not?
A red flag with a man is if he talks a lot about your ex or what you did in the past. You should be able to be comfortable with telling people what you did back in the day. And they should be comfortable with who you are. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I would like to piggyback on that too, because if you're being upfront with someone that you're dating, it is a huge red flag if you're being vulnerable and open and transparent with this person and it comes back in your face in a way that is
That's
not
like
productive.
A curveball.
It's like literally abuse.
Yes.
It's literally
abuse.
Curveball. So that is a huge red flag if you're being open and vulnerable and you're sharing your life, your experiences with this person, and it comes back in a negative way. Well, you always used to this and I, you that.
It's like
it's horrible.
It's like finding your old boyfriend's picture in your house. And they're saying, why you still got that picture? Was I supposed to throw away all my pictures? So was I supposed to throw away my prom picture?
It really shows how insecure that person is. If they're continually saying negative things about your ex or bringing your ex up or, just anything that's negative, that's just kind of bringing you back to spaces you don't want to even be in. Like you reminded me about somebody I left. I don't want to hear about that.
It's not a competition
at all.
And what it does to me is it turns me off because it shows me that you're not confident.
Right.
Like when we were all young, we've all done what we wanted to do. We all dated somebody probably we shouldn't have dated. And it doesn't matter if it's a picture, if it's a shirt, or if it's something like, what you gonna do? Tell your wife to get rid of her prom pictures? Because she obviously ain't with her prom date. Like,
big
so
red flag.
It's crazy.
Big red flag.
And it just shows a man's insecurity.
Absolutely.
Like I would prefer to have an OG that is secure in himself, that is like, hey, okay, how's the brother doing?
Right.
You want to be able to,
or he has the mindset like, where are you gonna go? Like, because everything right here with me is exactly what I know that you're looking for, that you want. We've made a commitment to this, that I'm not worried about anything that happened before you. And I'm certainly not throwing it in your face, because that is
And the thing
horrible.
I hate the most is when they ask me, where's he at? What's he doing? Have you talked to him?
You want to date him?
Ghost. Casper. Like I always told you, maybe you should be dating him. Maybe you should get his number. Maybe get his, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, right? Because obviously this isn't working because you're too worried. You're too busy worried about him. And I can guarantee you, he's not worried about you.
Yeah. Any man that you're dating that who doesn't respect your past in a way that helps you, like nurtures you, like if he knows that you're treated a certain way and he can take that and make it into a positive, like any man who isn't doing that, they're just like throwing your past in your face, then that's a huge red flag. You just need to get rid of
And I
them.
think that women, some women are so insecure with themselves that they honestly think, oh, he's worried about my ex-boyfriend, he's worried about my ex-husband, he's worried about them.
Oh, they take that as a compliment.
Yes.
The jealousy as a compliment.
Yes.
Wrong.
It is not
wrong. Not a compliment
at all.
No.
At all. It shows immaturity in the man.
Bunch of crazy.
And it shows lack of confidence in you, because you should be confident enough to say to that man, hey, whatever he did, he did. What you gonna do?
Right.
What you gonna do? Yeah. However my relationship was with him, it has nothing to do with you. What you should do is try to do better than him, so you won't be in the same category as him, an ex.
Yeah.
And that's where men get caught up in who you was instead of who you are. And I think that's where men need to regain their confidence and their self-control. And they need to say, hey, listen, I will say this. It's nothing like a man saying, it's okay, because you don't need him now.
Right.
I got this. Mm-hmm. That's what women need to hear. I got
security.
This. Absolutely.
Yeah, the security.
Absolutely. Because I'm sure not asking you about your ex-girlfriend, because I don't care.
At all. Okay, so we got the red flags. So those are red flags for the ladies. These are red flags. This is when you need to learn the technique of ghosting. Have a conversation and let it go.
Let's ask the Casper expert. Let's ask the Casper expert.
But what are some green flags? So we have some green flags. So this is when it's like, yeah, proceed, like move forward.
Okay, so the first green flag, I think we touched on this a little bit earlier. We don't have to touch on this a lot. Is he respects your time and your boundaries. Mm-hmm. So we've talked about that. Like, we already know that as a single mom, your time is valuable. You have boundaries. One of my biggest boundaries, I have two huge boundaries. One is my house. The second is my kids. Mm-hmm. The third is my body. Right. My body is a boundary.
Absolutely.
I remember dating a guy before, and he was like, why don't you wear some stuff tight so I can just see?
Me too.
I'm a tomboy. I'm not tight. I don't wear tight stuff. I can, right?
Sure.
And it's just not who I am. But if you don't like how I dress, go to Lennox. You can find somebody dressed in tight shit all day. It's cool. Like, Frank, go to Lennox. Like, it's people running around in Lulu that shouldn't be all day long. I'm just not that girl.
Right.
So I just, that my body is one of my boundaries.
So the green flag is someone who
shows emotional maturity.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So another green flag is he listens without judgment. So
what if he's not judging right then and he comes back with you the next week or two?
So if he's coming back for clarity, then that's communication, and that is a green flag. But if he's coming back to like point a finger, that's a red flag. So I would say a man who listens is a huge green flag, because that shows that he's just more curious about who you are and wants to learn about you, and he can listen without saying, well, you shouldn't have that, and why would you this? And
so what if when this is what I like. If I'm giving my opinion to a guy, and this happens a lot. So if you're having a conversation, you're talking about things, and I give him my opinion on his kids or how he's handling his kids, or I see something inconsistent in his game, and I try to say, oh my God, say your family's out to dinner with him and it's his wife and kids, and he decides not to pay the bill. I'm going to look at him and say, why don't you treat your kids? Like, why don't you treat your kids and your grandkids and, do whatever? I'm saying.
Wait, you said his wife and kids. So you're saying you're dating someone
and he has
the whole
kids
family is there.
Yeah, and the whole family's there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I know he's able to take care of the bill.
Right.
And I say to him, why won't you pay the bill? Like, I don't understand that. They're your kids. Why don't you do this or do that? And he gets defensive with me. is that a red flag or a green flag that he's always defensive when you give your opinion or you say things about how he's living his life?
I think it's a red flag. Just off the bat, I'd say that that's a red flag. I also think like if you have an open line of communication with that person, then you would have a conversation about that. And if you can talk through it and you're able to talk through it, that would be a green flag. But right away, I'd say that's a red flag.
Okay,
so
good. That's one of the green flags is that he's self-aware.
Yeah.
And he can take criticism without being defensive.
And listens without judgment.
Correct. That's a green flag.
Listens without judgment. So that's a green flag.
Because I think that's going to offer you a lasting relationship. Like you should be able to correct him just like he should be able to correct you, and nobody's on the defense.
But isn't that a friendship? That's what a friendship is like, right? That's the foundation of a friendship. If I see something and I can call you and say, hey, like, what do you think? Maybe we could have blah, 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 and vice versa. Like that's a basis of a friendship. And that, going back even further, that's about trust. So if you're with someone, you don't trust that person, it's hard to receive direction or criticism or suggestions from that person if you don't trust them. So someone who listens without judgment, it builds trust.
Right. And it shows maturity.
Yes.
And it shows that you're mature. And it shows that if you're living together and you're married and something needs to be corrected in your marriage, you should be able to say it and that other person shouldn't be defensive. So I think it shows maturity when you're able to take criticism without being on the defense, which, I mean, you might be in your feelings a little bit. You got to because I would be a little bit.
Well, but when you know someone really cares about you, you're able to, it's easier to receive what they're sharing with you because based on their actions, not just their words, based on their actions and their words, they really do care about you. So it's easier.
And it's coming from a position of love.
That's right. Yeah.
It's coming from a position of love. And I think that's what allows men and women to grow. It shows growth and maturity in the relationship because we should, like you would tell me, I hope you tell me if, like, I knew last week my hair was crazy. And you should be able to say, yeah, it was crazy. Like, we're friends. I need you to be clear with me on where this friendship's going and where this relationship's going. So that's really good. I think that we're closing on this. And it's just, that red flags and green flags don't make people bad people, right? I think that just because that person that you're going to date at that time didn't meet your standards and had a whole lot of red flags, it doesn't mean that's a bad person. It just means that's not your person.
Right.
And I think that God has a person for everybody, right? I just do not think that every person you come across is meant to be your friend, is meant to be your man, is meant to be in your space. And I think protecting your space with red flags and green flags is very important because it's like baking a cake. And when you bake a cake, you have to sift out the flour. And you're just sitting there sifting the flour, and it weeds out the good and it weeds out the bad. And just because something's bad for you doesn't mean it's going to be bad for me. It just means that that's not my person. And I have to move on and evaluate the red and the green flags of my life in order to get the person that God has for me.
I would say the biggest thing is when you see the flags, red or green, pay attention to the flags. Because just speaking from experience, it's like the red flags are there. And it's just like we said, the story you tell yourself. So when you see the red flags, pay attention to the red flags.
Women and men get caught up in the Google Gaga and they get those I'm in love eyes. And that may not be the love that is meant for you. It may be the love that you want. It may not necessarily. It's like I say this all the time. I like chocolate, but I ain't eating it every day because it's not good for me. So you have to be consistent and know what's good and bad for you. And that's why we did the red flags and the green flags. Thanks for watching, everybody, at The Pickup Line. Thank you for tuning into this episode of The Pickup Line.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch us.
And listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.